Hello there everyone, and welcome back, hopefully for the final time, to Castlevania 3. After about a week of making our way through the stages, usually one at a time, sometimes if they were particularly easy, two at a time, we have finally made our way to level 10, Dracula's final domain, for some reason written out as Block A, apparently something to do with NES limits. I don't know why they can't flip around the 0 and the 1 because they can clearly showcase that, but who knows, I'm not a computer guy. I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Unlike in the original Castlevania game, where Block 6 was probably the worst level in the or most difficult level in the game, Block A in Castlevania 3 is actually quite easy. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some tough sections, but like, one, it's really short, and two, there's only like 2 or 3 sections that are really bad. The rest of it's not that bad at all. I can't even lie, there's a platforming section at the end that people don't like, but honestly, no biggie. I think the reason for that is because unlike every other Castlevania game, Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2, I think even Castlevania the Adventure did this, the game does not let you continue from outside the boss's door. If you are to die in this game, if you are to die in this level, you are to run out of all of your lives. Unlike every other Castlevania game, you do not respawn outside the boss arena, final boss arena. You instead respawn right at the start of the level, so I think that's why it's so short. I am going to use a save state once we get to that point, because I can't be asked to go through this multiple times over and over and over again. I've already done it, I've practiced, I've seen it. And you all have seen it. But just know that that might be why it's so short. So let's begin. Straight away, this section kind of sucks because you got to deal with a bunch of birds. And I'm not going to lie to you, the birds are the worst enemy in Castlevania 3. For some reason, the Medusa heads get all of the flack. And I say for some reason, it's a fair reason. They are an annoying type of enemy, especially in every other Castlevania game. But I can't lie, the birds are so much worse in this one. I think this is a pretty infamous section, the kind of dropping down this corridor, this tower. I think part of the reason it's so infamous is because people don't realise that this is not a platforming section, it is a falling section. You are not intended to platform your way down this tower, you are intended to fall down it, for lack of a better term. And I think that's why people don't understand what they're doing here. Because yeah, you are not platforming here, you are just falling. Though I did mess up there because I jumped. If you jump when the ceiling is right above you, you will die. What I needed to do there was just fall. I got a bit spooked, but as it turns out, the place we needed to land on had already spawned in, so I sort of just falled there and we would have been fine. I had messed up there because the Medusa heads were moving in a pattern that I hadn't seen before. I had taken a slightly different way through the tower, and that does change how the Medusa heads walk through. I think the other big thing that people don't realise is that you can fall through that cog. Again, because jumping too near the top of the screen in these vertical auto-scrollers will kill you, I think people get spooked trying to go round those cogs very quickly, and you just don't need to. At the end of the day, it's entirely unnecessary. You can just go through it regardless. Jump over that guy. Significantly more successful route this time. Ignore that final Medusa head, just wait for this cog to move in a certain way. You kind of wanted to let it do that so that you can make it all the way around. This section kind of sucks, you are going to be damage boosting at a certain point. You can take out that guy. Grab some hearts there. I recommend just getting hit by this pillar of bones and then walking straight through, don't bother fighting it. Big part of the reason for that is because as soon as we take out this spider and this whip skeleton, annoying to take that final hit, but here's what it is. We can grab a werewolf, leg of werewolf, it's called something like that. We can then take out the skeleton there using our axe. If we had been a little further away from the wall, we would have had to use holy water, and that's kinda inconsistent, so use the axe. You're going to swap out your sub-weapon when you get to Dracula anyway, so there's no concern. Ooh, that's close. Actually jump onto the pendulum. We haven't seen these on our path, but if you had taken the tower, gone to level 2, which we skipped to go straight to level 3 to unlock Sypha, you would have seen these there. This is a bit of a tricky jump because you actually need to jump a little bit before the pendulums meet. It kind of tricks you. And now we're going to go and put down a save state here, because that's it. That is stage 10. We're already at the Dracula boss fight. It's, like I said, it's really not a long level at all. Unfortunately, there's no double shots, triple shots, anything like that to help you, though there is a boomerang, and that's a big boon. Now, if you've played Smash Brothers, this is a big inspiration to that boss fight against Dracula in that game. You still need to hit the guy's head. It's still a case that the rest of his body is immune to damage. He still teleports around. But effectively, he's dropping these pillars of flame from the floor, and they can be... Okay, we're cornered. We're going to take damage here. But at the same time, he's also cornered himself, so we can deal some good damage as well. I'm not great at this first phase, but luckily the second phase is pretty simple, so it kind of makes up for that. What you want to do is you want to sneak to this corner, and you just want to be landing as many boomerang blows and attacks as you can. Really rapid damage. What you especially want to do at this stage is take out the right side of the mass first. Effectively, as you can probably guess, the drops of blood or acid or whatever will deal damage. You want to... It kind of stacked up damage on us there. Effectively, yeah, you want to take out the right side of the body first, because then that means that as long as you're not really slow with it, you can just stay in the right corner of the arena and just throw boomerangs and use your whip, and over time you'll take out the boss. Right, that's a big thing you want to do, is you want to try and get out of the flame pillar traps. He summons 2 flame pillars to kind of trap you in place, when he then summons the third one. And that's the other problem, sometimes he'll teleport into you, and because it takes a while for the flame pillars to disappear, it can be a bit of a nightmare to try and sneak past them. And sometimes they'll do stuff like this, and it's like, come on man, you've trapped me. I can't do anything for that. But when it's a situation like that, that's a lot more pleasant to deal with. Okay, we just about took him out before he could use the flame pillar, so that's good. Didn't jump there, shouldn't have jumped there. If I had just stayed on the ground, we wouldn't have been hit. So yeah, you can see 5 heads, each of them... You know, there's one unified health bar, but they each take individual damage, so you have to take them out one by one. Okay, his pattern's slightly different to in my practice round, so he is actually making his way fully to the edge of the arena. That makes it a little harder to deal with him. We need to chase him a bit more. So rather than stay at the edge of the arena, what we need to do is chase him. And then, yeah, that's the final phase. That's something that you don't... I'll be honest, you don't really see in any other Castlevania adaptation. It was in, say, the Netflix adaptation. But a big kind of wrinkle to Castlevania 3, which is only explained in the manual, like all of these older NES, SNES games, is that Dracula has actually made a deal with the Dark God. I don't know whether that's intended to be something like Satan, or whether it's some sort of generic evil entity. You know, unnamed evil entity. But whatever the case is, Dracula's power in this game comes from a third party. It's not all just him. So that's what we actually see in that final phase, the sort of alien-looking creature. That's the Dark God. It's not actually a third phase for Dracula, like in most other Castlevania games. It was a bit quick trying to escape the trap there. Yeah, I gotta be honest, this fight isn't actually that bad. I'm just really awful at this first phase. I'm just truly atrocious at it. And that, you know, does me in. So yeah, we need to chase this boss a bit more as it goes side to side to try and get the damage in before it gets to us on the other side of the arena. Yeah, the other alternative is to sneak under them, but of course then you're at danger of getting hit by all of the spells, not spells, the acid and blood or whatever the drips are, getting hit by those. So it is a tough fight. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not as bad as Castlevania 1, I would argue, because just the timing on that fight was just awful. You had to be so precise with your timing, and this is not like that. You're a lot more lenient with your attacks, not kind of getting trapped by them in the same way. It's just that I'm, for some reason, just incapable of dealing with this first phase. It's just something about it. It's like a mental block. I just cannot react to the Pillars of Flames correctly like I'm supposed to. And it's screwing me over quite a bit, as you can most likely tell. I think part of it's the fact that I get a bit scared when he's teleporting around. I'm assuming I need to get out the way faster, when in reality you actually have quite a lot of time. Okay, let's try things a little bit differently this time. Oh, okay, the drips stay on the ground for a little bit longer than I thought. They do linger a little bit. They don't disappear immediately or anything like that. Oh, I jumped into a drop. That's annoying. And then, of course, it goes up into the roof, which makes things harder. Luckily, now it's just the 2 heads remaining. It's a little bit easier to avoid taking damage, because you have a lot more time to run underneath them when there's only 2 projectiles coming down instead of 3. Only problem is it's the top 2 heads, so they're up in the sky for longer. And I'm really bad at remembering which blocks actually rise up for this section. The lasers are luckily very predictable. You can avoid them, no trouble. Oof. Then it's just a case of jumping onto the blocks every now and then. The hitboxes are kind of strange. Can't crouch to hit them? No, you only get away with the boomerang. Yeah, it's just a case of landing on these blocks every now and then, which can be a bit of a struggle on its own, but it's not too bad. Oh, but we did get just about caught by the laser. It's a lot of trial and error, I will be honest. It's just the fact that I'm really bad at the first phase that's screwing us over. The rest of the fight's not bad, actually. I saw a lot of people say that the Dark God was the really tricky part, but I suppose that's just the fact that it's an endurance battle, and with save states that's less of a factor. I think the Dark God might in fact be the easiest if you don't immediately die. You know, if the lasers are kind of to your advantage and you don't immediately get hit by them, I honestly would argue the Dark God's the easiest phase of a lot of them. It's just the fact that, yeah, you can be screwed over very quickly if you get unlucky. Oh, I needed to move out the way. That's mandatory damage. Can't do anything about it. Yeah, the timings are... I was about to say, if we can kill him quickly there, that's good on our behalf. Right, let's focus on the top heads more this time. Again, we just want to try and take out as many of them as possible. At the end of the day, whatever heads are taken out, that's better than taking out dealing damage to all of them. Yeah, sometimes something like that happens and it's just like, I guess. Let's get out of the way. Yeah, oh, you're a tricky head to hit. Especially when you're chasing us all of the way, come on. Right, let's get onto a pillar this time. I missed the first hit. Unfortunately, you can't really duck down to hit them either. Luckily, the body itself isn't damaging. It's just... In fact, I don't think any of him's damaging. I think you can even run into the head. I think it's just the lasers he fires out that's the problem. So yeah, bit of trial and error, bit of practicing what you're doing. It's not too bad. There's a big thing about trying to make use of as much of the space in the arena as possible. You know, trying to get on his good side. It's just that, again, the smaller pillars of fire, the ones that really trap you into the area, they last for way longer than they, you know, seem like they should. Or rather he isn't actually damaging during his teleportation for longer than it seems. So you can actually deal a lot more damage than you think. I think that just about missed them. Oh, but it'll hit them on the way back. That's good. Okay, we're trapped. We're going to take the hit. Yeah, the one thing about the Dark God is that you really can't mess up. If you fall into the pits, obviously that's instant death, but also his lasers do tons of damage, so that's another factor that can mess you up. I reckon we could have got through here with more health than we will, but such is the same. Alright, come on, get down to a level I can actually hit you. And of course you managed to get one final hit in before you die. So yeah, you can do about 2 damage per cycle, maybe 4 damage if you land your hit. And then don't run into the laser.
A few moments later.
Right, but that was a good attempt. It's a bit annoying that every time we restart we have slightly less health, but to be honest, we go down so quickly that I don't pay it much attention. It's like, oh, we seem to have died a bit quicker this time. I wonder how that came around. But yeah, this first phase really is just a case of being as cautious as possible. That's really best advice. Oh, great. Honestly, it's as long as he does that in the middle of the arena, it's not too bad. I mean, it's guaranteed damage, but at least it knocks you out of the attack afterwards. If he does it in the corner, you're screwed, because you just take like 3 guaranteed hits. Like here. Now, we're going to get hit. Oh, no. The smaller flames just about disappeared in time. See, that's why that's being on that side so good, because even if he runs to the other side of the arena, he actually disappears a little beforehand. Oh, that's good. We've got the hearts to waste on the occasional missed shot this time, so that's fine. But I would like to actually hit you guys, so can you drop down a little bit lower, please? That's good, that's good. Just to immediately run back up. I don't know how much damage we did there, but it wasn't enough. I would have liked to have dealt more damage. Ooh, just about got through the drops. That's rare. Right, can either of you heads go away? There we are. Right, and I think it's this right side window that we need to kind of... Yes, there we are. That's the window that we need to be hiding behind. And you want to more or less aim for the crest. That's what I'm finding. got a bit caught between blocks there, which meant we got hit by the lasers, and I think we're a bit screwed here. If the eye lasers come out, that's always a problem. It's just annoying that you can't land a whip hit with the... Oh, we missed. That's annoying. I find it's better not to be in the corner of the screen when it comes time to land a blow. Ooh, this is going well. Oh, it was going so well. Look how close he was. Ah. But we're inching closer. We're figuring out strategies. We're figuring out where it's good to kind of push forward and where it's good to just leave him attack for a moment. I think we're close. I reckon just a few more attempts and we'll be there.
20 minutes later.
Oh, messed up a couple of times there, but it's all worked out. The good thing is the lasers are pretty much exclusively on the top side of... Sorry, exclusively attack the bottom side of the arena. They're not aimed at where you're actually going to be. If you're on the blocks... Oh, why are you going that way? Why are you going that way? Why can you go the direction I'm in? Oh... Get the... Oh, we were so close. We were so close. If only the blocks had gone in our direction, we would have won at that time. Frustrating. Really frustrating. Okay, I think I figured something out here. Axe. Avoiding using the boomerang and instead going for the axe, I'm finding is having really good results. The only problem is that I'm getting progressively worse and worse at the first phase. You know, the general consensus is that the more that you do something, the better you get. That is not the case for me in this first phase of this fight. I'm getting worse and worse at it. I can't get through it without taking so much damage that I'm practically one hit for the rest of the fight. I'm really bad at it. I don't know why this first phase stumps me so much, but it just does. I just can't avoid taking obscene amounts of damage. To the extent that this is one of the better attempts I've had in quite a while. And like, look how much damage I'm taking. Even so, the axe makes this phase really easy. Because for once you can actually hit enemies from a distance. Again, the fact that it doesn't fully get to you for that first phase, massive boon. Hugely benefits you in the rest of the fight. Because now look at the damage I'm doing. It's just the fact that it's all spread out among all of the heads, so you don't see it as much in the same way. With these, the platforms become less to avoid, to deal damage, and more about just avoiding getting hit. Okay, you still need to jump to avoid the lasers there. Ah, I'm really bad at this. I'm just awful at this. That's the problem with it. Like, for some reason, something about this fight, I just can't wrap my head around it. I just can't get the formula inside my brain. I can formulate a plan, and the plan works. I just then can't, for some reason, pull it off. And it's doing nothing but screw me over, funnily enough. There's a guide I read a while back about this fight, and its recommendation was to make sure that Dracula is always at the very edge of your whip, and that's a lot easier said than done, mate. That's a lot easier said than done. Like, I don't have all of that much control about where he ends up going, you know? He's kind of just ends up where he wants to end up. You can twist it to an extent, but I'm really bad at it, so I'm really bad at getting him to do what I want him to do. I'm messing up the timing on the flame pillar, so I'm waiting for him to react, and he's taken way longer to do so than I remember him taking. Because I'm trying to make it so that there's a bit more room for me to work with, and it's not ending up the way I want it to. God, I can't imagine doing this without save states. It's one thing with all of the rest of the stages to be like, ooh, that's tough. Stage 9 especially, like, ooh, that's tough. But this fight, without save states, oof. Big oof, nothing but oofs. Okay, we can just barely avoid the flame pillars if we're really quick for situations like that. The only problem is then when he's at ranges like that, I just can't hit him. So there's, see, massive stage where I'm just dealing no damage at all. So that's the problem with the axe, is that as much it makes the second phase really easy, but the first and third phase, a lot of the intended strategy with that made harder. Okay, let's stop with the axe. It's clearly not working out to our favor. There's limitations with the boomerang technique, but it's one of those things where you just have to get good. The axe makes the easiest phase of the fight even easier, but then it makes these first two phases, or first few phases, really tough. So I'd rather make the tougher phases easier using the boomerang than making the already easier phase even easier. Not getting super lucky with where he's teleporting, but that's fine. Just one more boomerang should do it. Yep. See, like, compare the damage difference now. It'd be great if we had a double shot, because it means we could have two boomerangs out at a time. It would kill the frame rate, like, this is just with the droplets coming out, and it's already like this, but it would do wonders for our damage output. Ooh, just barely avoided all of that. I'd really like you to go to the other side of the arena. That's generally where you end up dropping down low enough to actually attack these other heads. Good, good, good. This is a good attempt. We've got loads of health. It's just a case of not falling into a pit that we need to worry about. We can take that hit, we can take that hit, we can take that hit. So long as the damage output stays high, this is the best situation we found ourselves in. Okay, this is good, this is looking really good. Oh, yep, I think we got it, we've got it! Ha ha ha, yes! Yes! So, I don't know what that noise was, but thank God, after about an hour running that fight, we're done. Ha 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 ha! Compared to every other boss in the game where there's maybe like a tiny portion of the fight in comparison to everything else, that was most of it. As always, Castlevania collapses, and then, ooh, the big reveal. Turns out Sypha was a woman the entire time. This text is going to be in Japanese, yeah. The basic gist of it is that there's like, ooh, look at that, Sypha was a woman the entire time. Guess you're going to go get married now. But yeah, I do like Sypha, I really do like Sypha. I think she's probably the best part of the Netflix Castlevania series. They recently announced the voice cast at the time of recording this for the new Castlevania game, Belmont's Curse. Where it's revealed that the Netflix voice actor for Sypha is returning to voice her, and it's like, oh, wonderful, that's amazing. And then I looked back on their Twitter feed, a couple of extra posts, and I found out that apparently Sypha's dead in the game. She dies soon after the new Belmont's Birth, and it's like, oh, come on, man. That sucks. Why you have to do me like that? It's like, you get me all hyped up. Sypha's back. Woohoo. With the old voice, with the Netflix voice actor. Wonderful. Amazing. She's dead, so you're going to get like 20 minutes with her maximum. It's like, yeah. You're kidding me. Vampire Hunter, Sypha Velnumdas. People point out that that's probably a Japanization of Fernandez. Acrobat, Grant Dynasty in English. Of course, we didn't see Grant, he was unlocked in stage 2. Is that going to be Alucard? Wow, they really didn't give him a good ending screen there. They really didn't like him much, did they? And then it should be pointing out that, yep. If Trevor's there? No. But yeah, in Japanese, Trevor is Ralph C. Belmondo. There's a bit of a confusion about what some of the initials meant in these early things. Yeah, Belmond. Okay. Yeah, but in the West, they called him Trevor. I think his full name's something like Trevor C. Belmont or something. Just because Christopher was originally intended to be this guy. So it was a whole thing just to kind of keep some consistency among manuals and all the rest of that. It was an early attempt to keeping the lore unified. But that is it. That's Castlevania 3 Japanese version, because it's easier. Completed. That final boss fight, gruelling. But then, in my defense, it is apparently well known for being gruelling, so it's not just that I really sucked, though I did. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot more than Castlevania 1. I think I probably liked it more than Castlevania 2. As always, with these retro games, even if you like the first few stages, the difficulty spike in the last few increases to the point where you're like, I'm not sure I like this anymore. And this game is no different with that. Stage 9 was terrible, just an awful stage in general. And then that boss fight. Okay. I say that boss fight was fine. I was just awful at it. I was really, really bad. But generally speaking, I think, yeah, like all of these retro games, the difficulty spike does make the latter half slightly less enjoyable, especially because they often do veer into unfair territory. But the first 2/3 of the game was strong enough that I can sit there and be like, yeah, no, that was really enjoyable. I like that a lot. Massive expansion over what they did beforehand, and a really interesting one as well. I think they've really, by this point, figured out Classicvania, so I am excited to see, hopefully soon enough, what Super Castlevania 4 looks like. It's a remake of the first one, but with the upgrade to the SNES and all the rest of that, the technological power that comes with it, all of the new gimmicks, the sort of semi-3D things, that looks like it'll be a really interesting game. I'm curious to see whether it stacks up to this one, because I think that this is pretty much, they've squeezed every last inch of power out of that NES, or Famicom, because this is the Japanese version, so slightly better system. Everything out of the sound chip, everything out of the graphics, just really impressive for the NES. Probably the most impressive NES game I've ever seen. I see a lot of people be like, Silver Knight looks nothing like a NES game. It's like what you imagine the NES games looking like in your childhood. It's like, no, I don't know. I think Castlevania 3 kind of stacks up to that level. But whatever the case is, whatever your thoughts on the game, I really enjoyed it. And I hope that you enjoyed it too. It was a bit of a grueling final few stages. I don't know what the edit for this episode is going to be because it's just massive bursts of me being completely silent in the boss fight. As I tried to lock in and failed repeatedly. So I don't know what that's going to look like on the edit, but hopefully it works out. For now, I'd like to say thank you all for watching. Tune in next time. Don't know what it's going to be. Might be Kid Dracula. But, yeah. See you there for now. Ciao.